I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about me. For those of you who don't know, I have joined the SHRAC staff in December as the artist liaison, as well as the grants manager. So if any of you have any needs or, want to talk about some direction you might want to go in, even potential projects, you can reach out to me. There's a few ways. There's a link on the SHRAC website, and I believe it says help for artists. It'll take you to a link where you can schedule a in-person appointment with me, a Zoom appointment with me, or we can chat by telephone. It's the best way to try to get an appointment with me. You can always call me directly and ask me what I have available. It's just that site works really good for efficiency, allows you to let me know what you need. Usually I am going to follow up to let you know that I see the appointment. I'll confirm some kind of way. And while we're also getting started, if any of you are not on the cultural list and you need help with that, please let me know. We have critical mass call going on now, and you do have to be a part of Culturalist to participate in that. So like I said, just give me a holler if you need some help with that. We also have a workstation here in the building that if you don't have a workstation available to you, a computer or internet, that you're able to come and use it here. Again, the best thing to do, even for that, would be to reach out to me, and I can tell you when I'm here in case you do need some assistance. And Pam, Leslie is logging on now. So as soon as Leslie logs on, we'll go ahead and we'll do some introductions.
Okay, great.
Great, I'm on.
Hey, Leslie, great.
Hi, Pam.
Hi.
Hey, Karen.
Hello.
And you recognize some old friends who are with us last year, who are with us again this year, as well as some great new people. First, I just want to get us started by saying,
yes,
welcome everyone. Welcome Leslie Marshall. We consider and like to think of Leslie as our arts entrepreneur guru because she is an arts entrepreneur. She makes 100% of her living from her art. She is self-trained as an entrepreneur and as an artist. So it's not like she went to college and got a PhD and you have to do the same thing. She would be the first thing to say it's learning by the seat of her pants, and she's managed to keep her seat still relatively small. I've learned everything I know by the seat of my pants, and the seat is very large. So I don't know that the learning is large, but the seat is large. So allow me to start with everybody by saying what an absolute joy it is to have Karen on our team. She is brilliant. She is an artist. She is charismatic. She is accessible. She cares so much about this arts community, and I'm quite sure it's because she became an artist in this community. She was many things before when she lived in New Orleans, but among the things that New Orleans didn't give her was her artistic voice that she has mastered here in the Northwest Louisiana area. And you just can't know what a thrill it is to see her retire from her other work and come now to find her true passion in helping artists and helping the Shreveport Regional Arts Council do a better job of connecting with artists, as well as helping artists do the same thing that she did. Find yourself and also find your income in the production and distribution of your art. So this year, Karen is going to be a big part. She's been working with Leslie to book the artists and to book our different workshops and to make sure that this is an exciting year for you. I think we all know, but just allow me to say it, that we are trying something radical this year. And I hope that's why there are so many of you on the Zoom call today. The usual way that we have approached our entrepreneurial training program has been to ask you to commit to 10 weeks in a row. once a week for 4 hours a night for 10 weeks or 40 hours of training. And what we found during that length of time is that we started off with a good group, but as the time went on and people couldn't commit to every single week, we began losing some people out of the program. So we're now committed to once a month, 3.5 hours, the first Tuesday of each month. 5 o'clock, you can Zoom in and talk to one another and get a little bit of Leslie's one-on-one time. Then 5:30, we're all on for 30 minutes with Leslie to find out what you've accomplished during the month that you were given a big assignment and how far you've come. And then from 6 until 7:15, starting even tonight, we'll have more of a panel discussion with some people who are very successful in the area that we're trying to demonstrate to you. We really believe that personal testimonies, personal experiences are the best way for all of us to learn. And then 7:15, quick Q&A until 7:30 with panelists. And then 7:30 to 7:45, break. You'll need one by then. And then 7:45 to 8:30, the final 45 minutes, again, coaching with Leslie and getting your next assignment so that all along on this 10-month journey that will take us through next November, with October being a chance for you to have an exhibition that critics review and that we're going to talk about more in a moment. Then you'll finish your last session in November, and then we'll talk about how you pay for it. But for right now, before we scare anybody off with those kinds of things, I'd very much like us to be able to do introductions, and I'll introduce Leslie last, but you introduce yourself first with just take 1 minute. I mean, if you look at how many people are on, that'll take 30 minutes really for us to get through. So we're going to try to time it. Take 1 minute to introduce yourself as how you want us to refer to you. I am Pam. I am not Miss Pam, and I'm not Pam Atchison. I just think of myself as Pam. So how do you want us to refer to you throughout the next 10 months together? Then tell us your art discipline, and then tell us, please, what you hope you will take away if you invest 10 months of your life in this program, what you hope is your takeaway, and you will agree that this course has been successful for you if you get to, now you fill in that blank. So why don't we start? I was just going to say, golly, you look like Sherry Tamburo to me. You're on iPad. There is no name under it. So what is your name, beautiful woman with the dark glasses, since I thought you were Sherry and you're not?
She's Genevieve or Guinevere.
All right.
Mute.
Will you introduce
Oops.
yourself first?
Yes, my name, it went
We lost
around.
you. Yeah, we lost you.
Yeah, here we go.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Geneviève Tournebise, and I've done a lot of, let's say, art in my life of different kinds. But I retired about 2 years ago, so I decided to be serious about it and see if I can present my art around. And what I do is portrait of people or animals.
All right.
And other little things too, but yeah, mainly that's what now I'm doing the most.
Well, thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Betsy, you're returning to us. Go right ahead.
Hi, I'm Betsy Levels. I paint on anything that doesn't run away, from earrings to furniture to walls. And now this is fun to come in here. I took artist up not just once, but twice, because I couldn't absorb it all the first time.
So then is this your third time or is this your second time?
Well, I was actually invited to kind of talk about what all I had in it, but I would love to
That's right.
sit in and listen in on these sessions because I want to soak up everything I can.
All right. So now that you've taken it twice, you're now going to join Ron in actually helping to teach it a little bit tonight. Thank you. Now Karen is not Pam Atchison, just to say, she is Karen LeBeau, and I don't know how she can't change her name, but we'll just acknowledge that Karen introduced herself already. So how about, is that you, Haley? Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yes, ma'am. My name's Haley. I'm currently like trying to learn how to do digital art, and I'm hoping to start a business this summer. So I'm hoping that this class can help me learn the tools that I need to be able to do that.
Excellent. All right. Randy? Randy, is that you?
Oh,
Randy?
sorry. Okay.
Okay.
My name is Randy Robertson. I'm retired, actually. I've been an artist since I was 8 years old. I did take one art class when I was 8 years old. And, it was an 8-year-old art class, So, but with that said, I did discover that I could copy anything that I saw already drawn. I was never really that great at doing it freehanded. So fast forward along the way, though I wasn't in a construction crew type, construction type job, I learned how to do woodworking, construction of all types. So then when I retired, I was a retired parts manager of all things. But so all this time on my hands, I started just messing around in my shop. And my goal was to make furniture, but every time I did it, somebody would say, God, you're such an artist. And so I thought, I've always wanted to be an artist. So I went to a thing called Host. And I know there's a lot of us. I see the smile, Karen. Thank you. And I met a couple there. And they told me, when I told them that I wanted to be an artist, they had seen a little of my work and they said, honey, you are an artist. And it just changed my life. And so since then, and that's been 5 years ago, probably whenever, I don't know exactly when, but since then, I have been trying to get the courage to do this, to launch into something that said, I am connected with the art community in Shreveport. And that is my goal first. Second, when it comes to what I do on art, I'm hoping to figure that out, because all of this training that I've had, or excuse me, no training, but all of the talents, and I say that very humbly, I want to combine them together. Maybe not. I don't know. I recycle stuff, upcycle stuff, so my art changes. But it's always very artistic, and I try to make it functional. So if there is a such thing as functional art, that would be what I do. If there's a such thing as upcycle functional art, that would be the perfect way to describe it. So, and then I would love to find some sort of a place to, to put this out there and see what the people think about it, so.
Well, if there isn't such a thing of either of those yet, Randy, you are going to be the inventor of it. So
Well,
I
cool. I'm
think
63. I got to get into a big hurry here.
you'll be learning about branding and so forth soon. So
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
ML,
for that.
welcome
Appreciate it.
back. You two are coming back tonight. It's great to see you. ML Demars, go right ahead.
Hi, I'm ML Dumars. I'm a literary artist. Sometimes I do performance art and poetry. So I've taken this class twice. I've taken the class twice without the full benefit, but this year I hope to do the full benefit of it as a paying customer. And I hope to gain some business savvy from the classes.
I think you've already gained some great insight that we've already seen in your work, ML. So hopefully this time will be even more valuable to you. Thank you. How about you, Lisa? Hello, welcome. Will you take yourself off mute?
Hello?
You're still on mute, Lisa. Let me see if I can get you off. Just a minute. Karen, I think you've got the hosting role. Can you take her off mute?
Don't know if I know where that is.
see, Lisa, just one moment. Hmm,
You should be able to click on her actual name and then like right click on it. It should be like a little
Ah,
set of bubbles and then you can unmute her.
yeah,
it
I
gives me,
mean to interrupt, I just.
Can you hear me now?
yes,
thank you.
yes.
Lisa. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, sorry, I'm new to Zooming, even though we had all those years of Zooming. I'm Lisa. You can call me just Lisa. I too am older. Randy, I am 61 and I just am starting out myself. I've been doing art for like 3 or 4 years and I don't know how to get myself out there except at the Rebel. So I need to know how to do regular business. I'm clueless at grant writing. I'm clueless at just the paperwork side of doing a business. So that's what I am looking forward to learning. I do recycling glass and I like glass and wood together and I like glass on canvas. That's what I do. So
Very good. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Sebastian, tell us about yourself.
I'm Sebastian Williams, also known as Artist That I Am. You'll find me by either of those two names. Happy to be here with everyone.
Will you say your names again? Just, I'm sorry, say it again.
Yes, Sebastian was what I prefer to go by, or you can call me just Artist That I Am. That's my name of my business and my artist name. I do.
Artist that I am. Let's say it together. All of us together. 1, 2, 3. Artist that I am. Yes?
Artist that I am.
All right. Thank you very much, artist that I am. Keep going now.
Yes, I do painting, acrylic and oil, and I also do photography and film. And I've recently gotten into boudoir photography, just building my portfolio in that right now, but definitely looking to make that a service. And honestly, just I hope this class just gives me some insight on, showing me that I can actually not only work for someone else, but actually work for myself and get that self-fulfillment of just doing what makes me happy, and getting compensated for it, because, someone else and building someone else's dream is okay. But, ultimately I want to be in myself.
All right. Thank you.
May I just interrupt 1 second and please make sure you remute yourself so we don't get the feedback and the camera focuses on who's talking at the time.
All right. I'm sorry. I was trying to help there, but it just doesn't. Are you sure? Just 1 second, Karen. I was trying to help somebody mute back again and
Yeah, I am the one. I was on that.
Okay.
I am trying to get off my phone.
That's okay. That's okay. I've just been trying to ask Karen, do you have the power? I think you have the power on the participant list to be able to help mute and unmute. Just check and see, because I don't seem to be able to do it.
Yes, I was able to mute someone, but I don't see Genevieve showing up in my
Right.
queue.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Just a second. Mute.
Ron, I think that you're going to be joining Betsy in some comments, but how about a quick introduction?
Hello, everyone. I'm Ron Smith, visual artist, specifically working in acrylics for right now. I call myself a nostalgic expressionist because I work in 2 opposite genres, as we'll talk about later. I'm a realist and also an abstract artist. I want to change hearts and minds using my art to make sure that people don't let the stories die on the vine. So that's why I'm here, and I'm happy to share with you guys tonight.
Thank you very much. All right, Christina, how about you? Christina.
Hello, my name's Christina. And I prefer to go by Christina, but I make jewelry.
Oolors.
Hey, Casey, you not on mute.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. But again, my name is Christina. My company, I make jewelry, and I really, really want to get into mixed media with like acrylic and other things. The name of my company is Christina D'Angelo Design. And that's about it, I think.
All right. Thank you. All right, what do you hope to carry away? What's your takeaway from this?
Okay, so I hope to learn a lot about the business of art and actually like marketing myself to be a better entrepreneur when it comes to my art. Ultimately, I would love to, like, my big goal is to create a whole like after school program surrounded around like STEM or STEAM, with like education and arts, but on the low level, just learn more about marketing myself as an entrepreneur and to get into mixed media and be able to sell both things and not think that I have to be committed to one or the other.
All right, thank you. All right, Natalie, how about you? Tell us about yourself. Is that
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
yes?
Oh yeah. I'm Natalie. I come from China. I yeah.
Hi, everyone. I am not Natalie. I'm Natalie's husband. She's a little nervous. I'm gonna do the quick 1-minute introduction. Natalie is from China. She came over from China last April. She's been in Shreveport almost the whole time. She loves being here. She loves Louisiana. It's making a great first impression for America. Her background is in art. She has parents and grandparents who are Chinese painters. She studied fashion design in Shanghai. She taught art to children for a few years after graduation. Now that she's come over here, she's not working because she's waiting for a work permit to come through, but she hopes that once it does, that she can do something art related. She's interested in doing things like Chinese watercolor, but maybe merging it with American or Louisiana themes. She's practicing every night, but she's really interested to get from this class, well, how do you turn that into a business? What areas is she interested in? Everything from top to bottom, because she's not just new to art entrepreneurship, but she's still relatively new to the country too. And as her husband, I'm not much help in that regard.
Looks like you're a lot of help. And of course, Natalie, it'll be our goal that at the end of this course, you feel very good about giving your own 1-minute introduction with no nerves and all passion. So thank you very much. All right, Connie. And if you all don't know, Connie and also Adriana is on the program with us tonight. And both of them work at Art Space, our art center for the creation and presentation of art. And as with Karen, both of them are passionately committed to seeing artists in our community succeed and are there to help in any way possible with your work, whether it be at Art Space or at the Central Art Station or in Caddo Common Park. We're all one team to help. So go ahead, Connie, please.
Hello, everybody. I'm Connie Eaton. I'm a visual artist. I specialize in watercolor. What I'm hoping to get out of these classes is the marketing aspect and also branding. And I like to talk, but I don't talk enough as far as trying to get my artwork out of there. So that is something that I'm hoping to gain out of these classes.
Thank you. And go ahead, Adriana, since the two of you work together, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? And how did we lose you, Adriana? I think we just lost you rather than gained you. Adriana, yeah, go ahead. We can hear
Oh
you.
yeah, sorry, I was struggling with my microphone.
Yeah,
All right, my name is Adriana. I'm a visual artist. I'm really into digital art and acrylic. And I'm interested in this course because I'm looking for to improve my connection or how to build connections with collectors and galleries and all that, as well as my fans. For marketing, I would like to learn new things, but I think I'm good on that side. But I think I can still learn from this. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, Parker, let's meet you.
My name is Parker. I do a lot of graphic design work and digital illustration and things like that. Been doing it for like the past 4-5 years somewhat. I do some work with Big Sun Studios in downtown Shreveport. And basically, I hope to kind of get my feet on the ground when it comes to the art market within Shreveport and how I can utilize that and possibly grow a business around that as well.
Thank you very much. All right, Lynn, tell us about yourself. Welcome back.
Hey, Pam. I was really excited when this entrepreneurial classes started, and I was on one of the pilot program when we were, experimenting and doing this, and gained a lot of information from it. But I'm now in a position where I have several lines of artwork. I do primarily whimsical characters. The Unstrung Marionette, I've got a From Bogs to Bayou series I'm working on, and some more women empowerment artwork. And what I'm really interested in is, I'm very impressed with the professionalism that Leslie Marshall presents in all the avenues of her art. And when I saw this course come up, because y'all allowed it to be 9 months and stretched it out for one per month, that really made it accessible for me with my schedule. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's perfect timing because I'm looking forward to, as I'm developing these art lines of art, I really want to see different ways to put them out in the world, to market them, to be seen outside of our area. So that is what I'm really looking for. The proper way, the now way to put myself out on social media and out in marketing.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I think you've come to the right place. Again, thank you very much. All right. Whenever anyone comes on new, the whole screen flips on me a little bit. So let me see. Is the Lynn that we don't see the same Lynn as you are, Lynn Laird, or is that a new Lynn?
No, that is me. That is me also. I had to pop on my phone and I was trying to get my computer up and going.
Okay. Chandrika, have I pronounced it at all close, or is it Chandrikia?
It's Chandrika.
Okay, hi, welcome.
Hi. Well, I'm new to this, and my Uncle Buck told me to sign up for it. Because I'm from Tyler, Texas, and I did a couple of art shows down there. And I'm a social media influencer. So he was like, you should really just put yourself out there. Your paintings are wonderful. But I've been battling with my health condition, so I decided to sign up. I don't really know what genre of art I'm is because I just paint by emotions. And what I take away, I hope to take the way that God give me the purpose that I need to be great in his eyes for his will. So that's what I would have to say.
Well, thank you. Beautiful. When you said that your uncle suggested you take the course, Ron smiled, but I thought you said Uncle Buck. So who said for you to take the course? You lost me.
Uncle Buck. My Uncle Buck.
That's not Ron Smith, even though he's smiling as if he's, proud of me.
No, ma'am. He do the t-shirts for down here for Shreveport, Louisiana.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
Robert was looking like he had actually had a role in all of that, so I was.
No,
trying to-
no, I got to explain that, okay?
Okay.
The reason why I smiled was because most of us in rural areas, we all have an Uncle Buck. So I thought about my Uncle Buck, so that's all, okay?
Okay, good.
All right.
All right. Talk to me, say hello to us, please, Kay.
Hi, my name is Kay Johnson. I'm very new to the arts community. When I say new, I mean new. It's been a hobby and I want to turn it into more than a hobby. I make jewelry and statement pieces, candles, and home decor that use healing crystals. So my ultimate goal is to have a brick and mortar location where people can come and get these crystals and other healing things for the home. And also, I am in the process of becoming a certified sound healer. So I'm here to get the business aspect of marketing and branding and to connect with the arts community so that I can get my name out there and my pieces out there because ultimately I would like to open up a meditation studio here where I can also sell my art and do sound baths and introduce sound healing into the community.
Now that is a mouthful. Thank you very much, Kay, very much. Brandon, will you welcome back, Brandon? Great to have you back again.
Hey,
There you are. Hello.
how are you? I'm
Great.
Brandon Christ, and I'm a multidisciplinary artist. Too many disciplines, not enough discipline. I've taken the class in the past, and I thought it was very helpful with all the perspective from Leslie and all the guests, and raised a lot of great questions to consider throughout the weeks. And I'm looking forward to going through that process again and hopefully putting it to a more concrete result and trying to, let's see, just complete some projects and focus on which projects would be the most productive for me in the various realms that I work in.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. All right, if you are not muted. Keldrick, how about you? Thanks, by the way. Hope you're not a figment of our imagination. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm not a figment. I'm
There
real.
you go.
My name is Keldrick Dunn, professionally known Art Daddy Kills. I graduated from Louisiana Tech in Reston with focus in illustration and painting. And now I'm branched off into a couple different things. Like Brandon said, multidisciplinary, but very little discipline to stick with just one. But I primarily paint acrylic paint. It's like a blend of pop art with some illustration techniques and some abstraction thrown in there. So a good little gumbo of stuff. Some goals that I have. I feel like I'm pretty good at like getting attention, but it's like, okay, how do I convert this attention to money? And just figuring out just the money side of things, just pricing stuff right. Do I need to determine that based on where I'm showing at the time, what I'm doing, stuff like that. I've had some experience. Like I said, I went to college in Reston, so I have a lot of my achievements and things took place in that Reston Monroe area, but now I'm like, let's come over to Shreveport. Let's handle some stuff over here. Primarily live in Homer right now, but I am planning to move over to Shreveport Bossier, so I'll be able to be more involved in the community there. And I met Ron like a week ago, so he introduced me to this. I was like, perfect timing. So very excited to get through these next couple months. Also, yeah, the one per month, it works great with my schedule too. So very excited to give this a shot.
Wonderful. I think we need to put on the headline of our letterhead, turn artistic attention into money. I love that. And I think all of us would agree that while we may have started in the arts for all kinds of reasons, including worship and praise, to take a course in entrepreneurism is to take a course in turning that passion, that attention, that desire into an income that supports your lifestyle. And that's what we hope will be a victory for everyone at the end of the day. Moto G Power, introduce yourself, please. You are on mute, so if you could take yourself off mute, we'll hear from you. Be great to see you too if you took yourself off video. Or is that name connected to somebody else and it's again a telephone and a Moto G? Going once?
Maybe they stepped away from the
thing for a moment.
Yeah.
Well, while we're hoping that he
Yeah,
or
try and unmute them and see if you'll hear them respond.
okay, Karen, you've got to do that. I got no power over here. While we're doing that for Moto G, how about Casey? Will you come on and introduce yourself? Casey is another of the great Shreveport Regional Arts Council, loves artists, loves to see artists succeed. Go ahead, Casey.
Hello, everybody. I'm Casey Jones. I'm the marketing director for the Arts Council. I've sat through many of these artist up classes, and it's a great class, as I've heard y'all. I've been listening in, and welcome. And I will say, Pam, Moto G may be one of the people that said they were listening at work, and maybe they were just busy right now.
Okay.
Hello.
Oop.
Ah, there we go.
Hi,
Hello.
how you doing there? Hello, how you doing there? Hold on, let me put on video. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Oh, and now we can see you. Great.
Yes. How you
Welcome.
doing? My name is Edwin Sherman. I work for Shreveport Memorial Library, and actually the reason why I was late is because we just had a big program with the kids, so that's why I was a little late coming in. But I said I wanted to at least, kind of listen in and see what was going on about with this class and everything. So just happy to be here, just kind of listening in.
Wonderful. All right. You work at a library, so we know you've read a book or two, but how about it? Are you a writer or a visual artist or a performer?
I am an actor, writer, also singer and musician. Don't play too many instruments, but I use my voice a lot, whether it's singing, acting, and I'm currently in a theater production that's going to be on the 25th and 26th at the over at the where the big Dalmatian is, where the big dog is.
So you're part of the Lumpy Grits production.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, come on, you can give a plug. That's part of what entrepreneurs do. Give a plug for the day and the time.
Absolutely. It will be March 25th, 26th, and it's going to be, I believe, 6 in the evening on that Saturday, and then Sunday, I believe, will be another 6 o'clock showing. If I have to, I'll talk with Ms. Cherie Gray, who is the owner and director of LGA, and she'll send out some flyers if y'all don't mind sharing or anything like that. But we will have, I believe, 2 performances on the Saturday, and I know for sure on the Sunday, on the 25th and 26th. So for sure around the 6 o'clock hour.
And when you say that the play is at the Dog, the play hasn't gone to the dogs. The play
No,
is
not to the dogs. No.
it's at the Central Art Station in the engine room.
Central Art Station. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's right. Art the Dalmatian, all lit up, guards the artist at the Central Art Station. Did we miss anyone, please? Have we missed anyone? You flipped around on us a lot.
I think we got everybody. Let me just scroll through.
Well, let's talk about Leslie. We've mentioned that several of you have come back a number of times, and we've also talked about how the Arts Council in and of itself understands that no art project takes place in a community unless there's an artist at the helm of it. That's so important. Sometimes we talk about organizations and we say words like, oh, the Shreveport Symphony Orchestra. But when it comes down to it, that's 65 artists on stage performing for you. It's not an organization, it's a cadre of artists. And so We believe that the only way that the Arts Council can fulfill its mission, which is to connect artists and audiences. If you boil it down to its simplest term, our job is to get artists in front of audiences and to get audiences right smack dab in front of and with artists, because we know their life will be better when they come face to face with an artist and an arts experience. So the only person who's done this more than most of you is Leslie Marshall, who I met several years ago when we wanted to begin the transformation of this 9-block niche where Art the Dog resides and the Central Art Station is. But at the time when we first met Leslie, our building had burned down and we thought maybe it was the end of the Arts Council. We thought maybe it was going to be sort of a, if you will, Armageddon for the arts in our community. We were quite concerned about what would be the life of artists without an office or anything like that. And we began looking at communities across our nation, but particularly in the South, that seemed to have a rebirth or a renaissance. Some of those communities, I mean, we all know them. Chattanooga is one of those at the top of the list, honestly. We all think about Austin and 4th through 6th Street and the renaissance that they've experienced there. Some people are aware of the renaissance in Little Rock, Arkansas. And of course, one of our very favorite renaissance projects is Deep Ellum in the Dallas area. And I began wondering, how did Deep Ellum get its rebirth? What happened that made that, again, about 10-block area on the, it's the south side of Dallas, isn't it, Leslie? I'm sorry, I really do get my directions mixed up. Deep Ellum, is it south of Dallas?
No, that's okay. It's east of downtown. So Deep Ellum is a neighborhood just east of downtown, towards Fair Park.
And when we began looking at what happened, it all started with a project that Leslie led called the 40 Murals, where a developer asked Leslie to form a project that he owned 40 buildings in this abandoned buildings that had been long neglected and no one was in them. And he said, I want to draw attention to my buildings so that I can earn money from my buildings. Keldrick, I think you said something like that. And so in asking to draw attention to the buildings, he said, Leslie, I will pay 40 artists $1,000 each to paint a mural on the building. Will you organize that project? $40,000. And Leslie did indeed curate that project for 40 murals. And then she came over to Shreveport and curated 13 murals in the Shreveport Common area. One of those murals is by Lynn Laird. I don't think anyone else on the call has a mural. Gosh, I hope I didn't miss someone. And with that, we began finding that Leslie is not just an artist who makes murals and artwork herself, but she understands the power of collaboration with other artists. And she has earned most of her income, which is enough to buy property, almost to buy the whole city of Llano, Texas, to open a store in Llano, Texas, to have property in Colorado. And she's earned most of her money by her ability to put other artists to work on visionary projects that she conceives. Her company is called Articulations Art. We've been working together for so long, and I've forgotten the number of years. All I know is you've stayed young and beautiful, and I have gray hair. But still, we are a great team. That really
I dyed mine today, so don't worry, we're the same.
Oh, okay. All right. And I really believe that everybody who gets to spend 10 weeks, or in this case, 10 months with Leslie, comes out better for it. One of the things that I like best about Leslie, and I think you're going to be in such great hands between Leslie and Karen in this course, is that oftentimes the panelists who you're going to be listening to say things that seem so black and white. It seems so much like this is the law. This is the way I do it. You should do it this way all the time. And you listen to it, and for a few minutes you feel, really rather intimidated by, gosh, I don't do that, or I've never done that. And that doesn't feel comfortable to me. And then Leslie comes back in her 45 minutes at the end of that panel discussion and puts things in perspective, so that this course is not about a lecture series. It's about you and your success and what's going to work best for you. She's going to figure out who you are, what you're trying to accomplish, and then she's going to try to tailor her comments to each of you so that what might work for Lisa isn't what works for Haley and isn't exactly what would work for Brandon, but she'll find with you your own personal niche. So Leslie, you speak, and then we're going to ask Ron and Betsy if the two of them will take a few minutes to talk about what the entrepreneurial course has been for them and where they are in their art career at this point. Leslie, you go ahead, please.
Great. Pam, thank you so much. And Karen, thank you so much. I'm really excited about this year because I do feel that the way we're going to spread this out over 10 months allows everyone to get a lot of value from this course this year. And it's going to allow us to have multiple additional speakers, other creatives who have created businesses doing what they love and sharing that with y'all. And then it also allows us to have more time to do some really great homework assignments because you're going to have more time to do these. It's going to really impact by the end of this course what you'll have available for yourself and your business to go out in the world and really approach what you're doing in a very professional way. So I'm very excited this year that we have a lot more time. Even though, you know, we did it in 10 weeks before, it was fine, but it's going to allow me to give you a few more assignments this year that's really going to help y'all become a lot more professional at what you're doing and us to review and kind of go through this process and have more time to kind of edit. So on that behalf, I'm very excited about that. So, and thank y'all. It's very nice to meet all of y'all this evening. And I'm so happy we can do this through Zoom so that everyone can be involved. Again, I'm Leslie. I'm here in Llano, Texas, out in the hill country. I'm about an hour west of Austin. And Pam gave a little bit of my background, and we did a little bit of my background to do the intro about this course. But I'll just share a little bit about what I do and how I started my art career and my company, and just share with y'all how I will help you through this process, no matter what your creative is, what you're interested in doing, everything. You know, I took notes tonight on everyone's name, what y'all are into, what you're looking for this course. I mean, everything from literary to mixed media, recycled glass, digital art, upcycled furniture. I mean, all of you are capable of making a business and what you love to do and being very profitable. Okay. So my goal through this 10-month course is going to be really to hone in with each of you. You know, we're going to have different speakers on that are going to share their insight. And then I'm going to come through and really help you one-on-one figure out where your market is, the best way to approach your market, how to make you look professional, how to really integrate your pricing, what you can do to grow a business, whether it's part-time, full-time. And y'all have to ignore me. I'm watching a friend's dog that is very needy, and it's right here. So just so you know, sorry, I have a big doodle right here named Darby. Sorry. It was gonna bark if I didn't have it with me. Anyway, sorry about that. So over the next 10 months, you know, each course is gonna have a different overview of anything from logistics to the law of everything that you're doing, to finances, to social media, to reaching your market. And then after each of those panels, I really hone in with each of you. Okay, so we're going to look at what they say and the information that they provide. And then in turn, I'm going to help you of how you can approach it in the best way for you. Okay, so that's where this course really helps each person, no matter what you're into creatively. You know, a lot of people, you know, this isn't just about original artwork. This isn't about just showing in a gallery. This isn't about just, you know, doing prints this can be any type of creative outlet, from doing photography to fashion design, really any type of business, but we are with the Arts Council, so everyone has a creative passion. So I'm going to really help y'all create a business based on what you love to do, and really help you kind of navigate the best avenues of how to create a business. And we'll start out, you know, looking at this process of where you are right now and where you're at with your current job, with your current time, with your current situation. You know, everyone has a different situation, whether it's other jobs you work, your family life, what you have to do. And we're going to navigate that and how we can fit this into your schedule, and how we can help you incorporate this into your life and add additional income. And it doesn't matter your age, and it does not matter your experience. Okay. So all of this information that we're going to provide, it's going to be individualized to each of you throughout this course to really help you. You know, our goal is to have you making 30% additional income through your creative passion at the end of this course, that you will have all of the tools to make that happen. Right. And so, you know, I'll work with y'all. Some of you will want to be running full force and, hey, I want to do this full time. What do I need to do to be a full-time artist or a full-time creative? You know, I'm ready to go. Or some of you may be like, hey, I just want to do this as a side hustle. You know, I would love to make this much additional income a month, and this is kind of how my schedule looks. So we're going to go through all of that, and I'm going to help you be able to diversify your time and bring in additional income. I'm really going to help y'all be able to look at who your market is. You know, a lot of times y'all are in Shreveport, y'all are in Louisiana, and a lot of times we stay within that bubble. But what I'm going to help you look at is, yes, we want to market to your local Shreveport market, but we also want to expand, and we want to look at how you can reach a bigger market than just where you are. You know, a lot of times people feel like there are certain areas is concentrated with artists, and they feel like there may not be opportunity for them. So we're really going to look at how you can reach your market within your community and outside of that. Okay. And through the 10 months, and again, which I'm excited about, because I'm going to give y'all a little more homework than the previous years have had, that are going to help y'all. So my goal at the end of this is for you to be set up with every tool that you need, and knowing the market that you need to reach out to, and you have the tools to do that, and you feel comfortable. So one of the first things that we're going to do at the start of this course is get very comfortable in knowing our story. And Ron will touch on this, because when I met Ron, we originally, this has been a few years ago, he took the course the first time. His story is so amazing, and it was something he was not sharing. And you know, it's something we talked on, that his story is such a connection to the people that he would talk to about his creative, that it's something that really sticks with people. And I know that for creatives, it can be very difficult to feel like you want to sell your work to someone. Like, that feels very uncomfortable to want to, I'm an artist, I do paintings, it's for sale, do you want to buy my work? Like, that can become very uncomfortable for an artist. So we approach this differently, and learning how to share our passion, share our story, plant a seed with everyone you meet. And it's not about making the sale that day. It's about sharing your story and sharing your passion and building a connection with people. And so that is something that we work on through this course, where you're going to become very, very comfortable about being able to meet anybody and share your story and share what you love to do, and leave it at that. Okay, because what we'll learn to do is plant seeds, and those will grow. And I will tell my story of how my company grew that way for y'all, and we'll work on that. So you're going to learn your story. Okay, and you're going to be able to share that, and you'll do that through this course. And it's been a great tool, I know, for Ron, and you're going to share on that later about sharing your story and being comfortable to do that, and how in turn that's helped with your art career. You know, and again, learning to be comfortable in who you are and what you do. And for me, my background, I am a self-taught mixed media artist. I made really weird art out of all kinds of things. And I was told that my art was weird. No one would ever want to buy it. And I just loved it. I loved that creative outlet. I loved the energy release. I loved using used objects and building weird things. And I just knew it was something I loved. And I was told by a lot of people, family, friends, and everyone, that what I did was really weird. No one would ever buy it. Well, I'm really hard-headed. Y'all learn that through this course, and you can sell whatever you love to do. Okay. So I'll help y'all do that. And I built an art career on being a self-taught mixed media artist, going back to 2007. It's been 15 years now. I started my own company, Articulation Art, and I do art consultation and design. It has built over the years from starting off really small and doing, small little homes and offices to now doing full design, hospitality, huge hotels. I've worked with Facebook, Virgin Hotels, Lululemon, the Texas Rangers baseball team, and developers all over the country as their head art curator. And I did that all by myself and started my own thing I have no overhead. I'm working right now from my little country house out in Llano with my little computer. Okay. So when people tell you that you aren't going to make it doing weird art as a living, I'll tell them that they're wrong. So my whole point in being, I'm very thankful that y'all have brought me on over the last few years to share my story and be able to help other people realize that no matter what, the art world tells you as a professional way to approach the art market, or that there's a certain way to go about it to be a professional artist, that no matter what you do and no matter what you're passionate about and no matter what you love to do, that you can make a business out of it. And that's what I'm here to help with. I'm here to Pam mentioned earlier, yes, some nights after the panel, I may disagree with one of the panelists and give you a little more insight on, not everyone is an artist that's going to be in a gallery space. Maybe you're a more commercial based artist. Maybe you're more of an artist that's going to work with a product, and you're going to sell products and you're going to be more marketable. Or maybe you're more of a public art artist, a muralist, you're going to work with developers. Or maybe you are an artist for a gallery. And we're going to be able to navigate that through this course and really fit you and what the best approach will be for, what you're geared towards. And we've had so many different creatives in the past that did all kinds of things, from fashion to more like comic book style work to collage work to mural work. And so many of them are making money. Betsy, Ron, y'all have taken the course a few times, and what y'all are doing, what I've seen on social media, is killer, and y'all do different things, and y'all are both, having success with what you do. So I'm very excited that y'all are here tonight to share your story and what you've learned and what you're doing, just to give insight to everyone. Because, hey, a couple of y'all have said, you feel like you're late in the game. It's never late in the game to start. Okay. You have experience, what you love, when it comes to upcycled art and furniture, there is a huge market for that. I work with them every day. We are building crazy art installations, upcycled, doing found objects, artwork, and there's an outlet for that, right? There's an outlet for the glass art, for the jewelry, for digital work, for theater work, all of it. So through this course, you will learn that, and we'll really navigate it based on what you're passionate about. So that's a little bit of my background. I'll get way more into it when, each class that we do, and have a lot of one-on-one time. So I'll if that's enough, Pam, sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent, as I like to do, but if that's enough information on me for the evening, I can pass it on over to Betsy or Ron and kind of let them share about their experience, and then follow up after that if you have questions.
Well, with Karen's permission, I think what we would do would be, let's hear from Betsy first, then again, hoping that Karen and Ron wouldn't mind, Karen and I will go over what the 10 months will bring and share the actual class schedule with you. Make sure everybody knows what you're in for if you're going for certification. And if you're not, what the opportunities are. And then how about if we wrap up with Ron and his story? Would that be all right?
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
Great. All right, Betsy, let's hear from you. Betsy?
Okay. Like I said, I'm Betsy Levels. I'm not running for election, so I'll try to keep this concise. I had always wanted to be either an artist or a farmer. And needless to say, my family did not encourage either one of those lines to go anywhere. I always dabbled in creative stuff, painting, leathercraft, gardening, but I never really made it a passion. I took jobs I didn't like. When I became disabled, it was a miracle happened in my life because my family said I could paint to keep me from getting depressed, and I started getting more in that. And I decided, okay, I'm brave. I'm going to try to sell some of this stuff. And I got a booth at a maker's fair and got a ramshackle secondhand tent. My booth must have looked like somebody had knocked a Salvation Army barrel over because I didn't have any organization. Stuff was just piled and stacked here and there. I was too afraid to really talk to anybody that came in there. And they would ask me how much stuff was. What price tags I did remember to put on were in magic marker on masking tape. I was amazed looking back on it years later that I even sold the one piece that I actually sold that day. And my husband said, well, you know, honey, you paint okay, but people just don't like your stuff. You're not going to make money at it. So forget it. And I licked my wounds and kind of glared around and said, hide and watch. I kept feeling bad about it. And my daughter, Alex, who worked for SRAC, told me to get involved in some of the programs that SRAC had to offer, that they had an artist directory that I could get on for free. I was scared to do that. They had programs from time to time, and she had heard about an artist entrepreneurial program. And so I went ahead and looked it up, and I did Artist Up the first year. I didn't understand more than a third of what was said. A lot of stuff just went right over my head. I didn't even know what a hashtag was. So all the talk about social media was kind of a never, never land. But I got something I had never really had. Leslie is a great coach. She can find your strong points and bring them out and point out things that maybe you didn't notice about yourself. And she also has an incredible amount of knowledge of this industry. Getting a little positive recognition in that got me over the fear, and I went ahead and started putting what I did understand into practice. I got myself on the directory. I got a website of my own. I had done some web designing when we lived in Austin, so I wasn't too scared to get started with that one. And I paid attention to what I did understand. The tax stuff was a lot of information, but it was valuable. A lot of it went over my head the first year, and I had to come back the second to really get a grasp of it. And all the stuff about branding, about presentation, about putting yourself out there in a confident, positive manner was, I can't put a value on it, because that's what started making the difference for me in having stacks and stacks of artwork in my car on the way home, or actually selling stuff. I started watching how I looked, my whole presentation. I got some t-shirts printed up with my logo on them that matched my cards, that matched the banner I put on the top of my tent. I got some more sophisticated displays that didn't cost an arm and a leg, but they made a world of difference in how my stuff looked to the public. And as I started to present myself as more professional, employing all these things that we talked about in this course, I started making more sales. And I got up the nerve to enter critical mass and start entering my paintings in some other shows. Most of what I had painted up to that point had been decorative painting, functional objects, guitars, chairs, that sort of thing. And that's still my bread and butter as far as sales go. But it got my foot in the door for selling real art too. And, appearance was a lot of it. But I had never thought of that. I didn't have any marketing background. I had to learn how to talk to strangers and not hide at the back of the booth, get out and engage them in conversation, which is still kind of hard for me because I'm super introverted. And of course, everybody that ever tries to sell art anywhere is going to have the inevitable conversation somewhere with somebody that says, "Oh, I love that. It's so pretty, but I can buy one like it for $9.99 at Walmart." And the first time somebody said that to me, I could feel my face just turn flaming beet red. I was so embarrassed. And since then, I've learned, somebody says that about some of my stuff, smile, say, "I bet you'll have a great time. Do it. Here's my card with my email address. Why don't you send me a picture when you do? I'd love to see it." I've gotten a couple of sales that way because people got home and didn't want to actually do it themselves. They decided they'd go ahead and buy one. I've also found out through the Artist Up program and through dealings with the art councils that Shreveport has got an absolutely wonderful artist support community. The Shreveport Regional Arts Council over here and the Bossier Arts Council across the river, their services complement each other. They don't duplicate or conflict or overlap or anything. And the people at both organizations are super, super helpful. They will do anything they can to help you with getting your work out in front of people so they can see it and hopefully buy some of it. And we also have a very supportive local community of local artists that hang together. We get to know each other. We watch each other's work progress, and it's really, really wonderful. And talking to some artists from other places, that is not common. We are really, really blessed with what we've got here. And I hope everybody will get the word out about Artist Up. This is absolutely the greatest value for $50 in a painting that has ever been heard of. And I hope I'll get to sit in on some more sessions of it because the more I've listened, the more I'm going to learn. Thanks.
Wait a minute. Oh my gosh. Come on, everybody, a round of applause. You can do it, even if it's silent. If there was ever an opportunity to say, and I am so hoping you'll back me up, Leslie. Oh my gosh, Betsy, I'm sorry, I can hardly speak. Betsy couldn't put a sentence together when we first met you, Betsy. You know that's true. I'm not being mean. You were so shy. You were so wondering if you were in the right place. You thought everybody else on the entrepreneurial class was just so much more advanced than you would ever be. And you were just like, really, I'm not sure why I'm here. And for you to be able to speak that clearly and boldly and passionately about your work and about your success means everything. I mean, that's just brilliant. Leslie, you want to comment?
Yeah, I do. Betsy, I have to say, I am just so proud of you. I know that when you first joined the course, it was something that was difficult at the time because you didn't feel supported, in what you were doing, and for, adding an additional business and what that could bring for you. And, just knowing how you've taken the information we provided and really honed in on what that could mean for you and what you do. I mean, you have done an incredible job. I love seeing your social media. I love seeing your interaction and what you're doing at the pop-ups and with your booths and all the different things you're painting and the things that you're doing. I mean, you have created an amazing business for what you do. And that goes to show that no matter what you're into, no matter what your creative style is, no matter what it is that you're making, You know, you do not have to be this gallery renowned artist to have an amazing business and something that's bringing in income with what you're passionate about. And I am just so proud of you, Betsy. I really am. I mean, I'm so proud of you. I love seeing it. I love hearing your story tonight and what you're sharing with everyone. And I hope that that gives everyone a look into what it could be for you too, you know, where you're starting out and how you could grow your business. So thank you so much. And I'm so happy to see you. I love it.
Thank you.
We talk about repping the brand. Look at you. I love it.
The one,
Thank you. Good support.
Love it.
I'm sorry, the one thing Betsy didn't tell you is that while she was learning to get out of her own shyness, she has a granddaughter that doesn't have a shy bone in her body. So her granddaughter is at every market with her, and you cannot walk by the booth without her granddaughter stopping you and saying, wait just a moment, let me show you what we have for, and whether it's Halloween or Christmas or whatever the newest art creation is, she's right there to support Betsy, but also to be Betsy's icebreaker is what I would say your granddaughter does. She's a great help to all of us, but that's the one point I didn't hear you brag on was your granddaughter. So you tell her we know what good she does.
I will tell her. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Betsy. So now let's let Karen, I want Karen to be able to tell you about the 10 months of workshops, and then I'm gonna come back and tell you what it means to be to receive your certification as an entrepreneurial artist, and how you can participate if you do not want that certification, but you still want interesting evenings like tonight where you get to know everybody. So Karen, do you want to take them through the courses?
Sure. I want to say first though, Betsy, the comeback of, well, here's my card. If you make it at home, send me a picture, because we've all heard, oh, I could do that. I think that's wonderful. I love that. I'll probably use that. Okay, so we'll meet again on April 11th, and that is going to be the visual arts and art management. And it will be Leslie and Lexington. It'll be a panel discussion of what arts entrepreneur look like, why fight to be a career artist. And I think we already know that that's going to be some good information from what Leslie has already told us about her own career. May 9th will be Seizing Your Moment of Opportunity, the 30-second attention grabber, or it used to be called the elevator pitch. It really is an art to learn to give people the facts and how to reach you and find your art within 30 seconds before their eyes start moving around. And that's going to be April 11th. I'm sorry, that's going to be May 9th. And then on June 13th, it's going to be intellectual property. And we'll review copyright law and branding. It'll be an attorney presenting that segment. July 11th, I'm sure it's going to be a very, very good segment. They all are going to be great, but that one is about the finances. Keeping your business money separate. Financial ramifications of a career artist, paying the taxes, your personal finances. I'm sure we'll all pick up some tools that we can use in that section. August 8th will be finding and creating your market, keeping your buyer/client's attention. You become a salesperson, and it is a knack to have your consumers go from buyers to collectors. A buyer is somebody who's just going to buy what aesthetically pleases them, whereas a collector is going to be looking at the value and looking to see if he holds on to it for 10 years. Are you going to grow as an artist, and is that painting going to escalate in value? September 12th will be the gallery experience, to or not to. And we'll have Nell Langford, Katie Larson, and Jody Gloriosa will be the panel discussion on that. And so when these panel discussions go on, they'll start with a topic. It'll be a little organic. There'll be a question and answer section. It'll be very good information presented. October 10th, as we're winding down for the end of the curriculum, it'll be creating successful online and social media presence. Is it Zarina? Is that correct, Leslie? Zarina and Josh Chambers and Eric Francis will participate in that panel discussion. On October 17th is Meet Your Potential Buyer. It'll be Leslie Marshall and Lauren Smart. Critic and curator Kevin Rubin Jacobs and Nell Langford as well. On the 18th of October will be your exhibition. And that'll be basically your graduation or close to graduation, because then Pam's going to talk about the pay it forward and the certificate part of it.
Okay, so each session, the way we have found it to work successfully is that you'll zoom in at by 5:30. At 5:30, the program formally begins, but Leslie will be on at 5 for those of you who get off work a little bit earlier or can walk down the hall as we just saw with Moto G and listen and tune in. But 5 to 5:30 is really more just personal time for you all to catch up with Leslie, ask her a question you've been meaning to find out about. And 5:30 is when the course begins each day. And so from 5:30 to 6, Leslie will be checking on the progress of your assignment, which she's going to share with you in just a moment. And it deals with you creating a portfolio. By the way, we encourage and expect that if you are going to take this course free, that you are involved, that you have a listing on Culturalist. And Leslie's role will be to help that listing be more powerful than it might be when you first start off. But the way that we are able to know that we're working with artists is that you're registered on Culturalist. It is a self-registration. Karen, you can make an appointment with Karen and she will help you get on if you're not already on, but it requires that you have 10 works of art, that you have an artist statement, and that you have a short artist biography or resume, but the art biography or resume. As you go along, you're going to have one great session with Robert Pincus, who's going to talk to you about how to write your artist statement. He's even going to allow you to write it, send it to him, and he'll evaluate it for you and help you rewrite it. But to get on Culturalist, you've got to have the effort of that. And as I say, or frankly, as Betsy said, if you don't have great photographs of your art and you don't know how to have a beautiful photograph of your art that's not taken in the frame, in the glass, then the Bossier Arts Council One Stop will help you with your photography, with your artist statement, and also with your resume statement so that you can be on Culturalist. But you got to be on it, and there will be a point in the sessions where we will be checking with each of you. And if you're not on it, we're going to have to reach out to you and say it's now or never. So when you're on Culturalist, that makes you eligible for all of the artist services that the Shreveport Regional Arts Council provides, and this is one of them. Now, that I was speaking about Culturalist to try to tie you to Leslie is going to be giving you weekly assignments that deal with building and improving your own portfolio. And she'll talk with you about those at the beginning of the class. Then at 6 o'clock, we will start these panel discussions. As Karen just told you, there are usually 2 to 3 panelists, and so you'll have a chance to hear on a topic from their own experience from each of them. They'll each speak about 15 minutes. Then Leslie will moderate a question and answer period. And at 7:30, you'll get a small break. And then we used to force you to go till 9 o'clock, but I don't know why. Karen, in thinking about what people need, says that's just too long. So she has encouraged a shorter break from 7:30 to 7:45, and then you're finished by 8:30. ML had to stick with it till 9 p.m. last year, and I saw her yawn a couple of times. So we'll finish by 8:30. Now, the way, does anybody have questions about the format of the class at this point, or the sessions that we plan on offering and the order of them? Okay, great. So here's what happens.
I have one question. Okay, I know that in some of those dates, I'm not going to be in the country. So I will be doing it from wherever, from France, naturally. And so you are going to have the sessions on Zoom as well, right? Okay, I wanted to make sure.
All the sessions are on Zoom except for the October session, which we're going to talk about. That is in person. So don't
Okay,
go to France in October.
Okay, I'll be back by then. Thank you.
And the rest of us are just jealous that you get to go and we don't. So, so if you would like to receive your certification as an artist graduate of our entrepreneur class, then all of you are to attend. We wish you would do all 10 sessions. We allow you to miss one session because we're recording all of the sessions, and we figure anyone can watch a recording and catch up with one. If that's what you would like is the certification, which we highly encourage you to do, and Betsy encouraged you, and in a moment, Ron is going to encourage you, then what happens is that by the time we get to October, is that you pay $50. Now, the $50 is just a cash, good faith, I'm going to stick with this, I am going to do it, deposit. But we value the class at $500. That's how we price the class. So you owe us $450 at that point, okay? You're going to take the certification, you owe us $450. Now, all of your classes are on Zoom, and as I said, you get to miss one, but Leslie will still hold you accountable for the assignment that you missed because you have the chance to go back and watch the class on Zoom, on the Zoom recording. In October, those of you who are going for the certificate will have an exhibition of 2 of your works. You do not have to create the works. They can be current works, but they are your 2 outstanding works that you're most proud of. If you want to create new work, that's fine. We're telling you right now that the exhibition we're speaking about is October 17 and 18. On October 17, which is Tuesday, you'll all come together right here at the Central Art Station where the dog is, and you'll have an in-class long evening with Leslie. And while you're in class, we will have brought in 5 gallerists. We already told you Nell Langford owns a gallery in Dallas and has so much admiration for you, Leslie, by the way. She begged me to say hello to you. But she's with the Aaron Cluley Gallery in Dallas, and they have 2 branches of it. She'll be here, as well as, again, other people in our community that sell or collect art. And their goal is to go through your work. Your names will not be out on the work, but on the back of the work, you will have determined what you would sell that work of art for. And you've put it on the back of your artwork so they can't see it. They will go around and put on your work what they believe they would pay for that artwork. So it's not necessarily what you should sell it for, it's what they would buy it for. Then you all come downstairs. We all have a piece of inexpensive pizza that's probably cold by now, and a glass of wine or beer. And you walk and you see your artwork, and some of you are going to go, oh my gosh, how could they, when you had priced your work at $10,000 and they've priced your work at $750. And some of you are going to do as Betsy Levels did, oh my gosh, I can't believe when she had priced her work at $250 and they priced her work at $750. So as you look at your prices and wonder what's going on, they then will have a workshop. They'll sit with the group and explain their pricing philosophy. And at that point, you can agree or disagree with their philosophy, and you have the right to change the price of your work of art. At the end of the talk, then you're going to go stand by your work, And each of them are going to rotate around the room and come and talk to you about why they made the decision about the price they put on it, as well as seeing your price on it and talking to you about why they think that was right on, a little high, way too high, or way too low. And then at the end of that session, you'll come back with Leslie, talk about the idea that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but is the pricing really in the eye of the beholder. And the next day is Wednesday, and that's the night that you will have the opening of your exhibition. During that Wednesday, Leslie will have one-on-one appointments with each of you getting a certification to talk with you about your portfolio, to talk with you about, you know, what she sees that you have gained in the class, where she thinks you could go next. And then Wednesday night, you're going to have your opening of your art exhibition. And each of you will take 1 minute at that time to introduce yourself and your artwork. We call it seizing the moment of opportunity. And you'll do that during your opening night. And hopefully your art also will sell. So that's your exhibition. And the final class is who gets to decide the value of art and how much you should charge. But then remember, yes, ML,
Of course, I'm going to ask the question I always ask. How does the literary aspect play into that? Is it still two works? Are they, I mean, I guess I'm trying to figure out how that's going to work.
Well, we're going to, for literary, we're going to, what we did last year was we blow up the works on poster board paper, and we ask you to try to have no more than 4 of these large poster boards that we will create for you. And so that could be 2 poems, yes, or it could be 1 excerpt that covers 4 pages. But you still have books for sale, and the idea will be that they will still look at the book and determine the quality of the book itself, the publication itself. And if they believe you've priced that publication correctly, or how they're feeling about even the way you have presented the book, you know, the cover design, things of that sort. But the class is for all art disciplines. If you are a performer, then you will have a chance to perform, and you will tell us, how many of you are performers on the call? I thought I had 1. Thank you, Brandon. I mean, if your art form is performance, once again, we'll want to know, what would you charge for a performance? Are you performing by yourself or with a band or what? And they'll still have a chance to respond to whether or not you're likely to get a booking at the price that you are charging for your performance. So, okay, remember that's for certified artists, for the artists who are going for the entrepreneurial certificate. Then you owe $450, and here's how you pay it back. You will create a work of art based on anything happening in the area around Art the Dalmatian, which we call Shreveport Common. There are interesting historic buildings here. There are interesting people here. There are organizations here like Providence House, which most of us have all heard about, or the Mercy Center, or the McAdoo Center, the Lighthouse. There's the Strand Theater. There's the Corner Lounge. There are all kinds of niches, nooks, crannies, organizations, buildings, and the wildest, most fascinating people you'll ever see. We call it the Faces of Shreveport Common, but we do not mean you have to paint a portrait of a person or even just paint a portrait. We mean in your art discipline and medium, you interpret one thing about Shreveport Common that is worth, for your pricing structure, $450. That could be a piece this big for some of you all. It could be one piece of jewelry. For some of you, it could be a huge painting that takes up the whole wall. Last year, one of our artists wanted to create a mural actually at the building site itself, and got permission to create a mural there at the old Cresswell Hotel. It's gorgeous. You should go and see it. And it's all done in tape, really nice. But you decide what is worth $450 in your own art form. We are not the art police. Then we do exhibit it and we ask whichever organization or person, or if it's even a venue, let's just pretend it's the Strand Theater. We would ask somebody from the Strand to come to your opening night when you exhibit this in January. We would invite them to be there and you will present them with the gift of your art. We don't keep it, you don't keep it. You give it to whoever you determined you were going to tribute with your $450 artwork. If you don't want to make an artwork, but you want to teach a class, for example, or you want to do a workshop, we might set it up with you to go to Providence House and spend a day or a weekend helping them make art. We'll work it out with you, but you determine what's your art discipline and medium and what's worth $450 to you. And that's how you pay it forward in this community. Now, if you don't want to do that and you don't want a certificate, you are welcome to Zoom in at any of our days from 6 to 7:30 p.m. You cannot come in early. We'll have, Karen will be moderating the list of those who are certified or going to certification and those who are auditing the class. I think ML, you audited the class at one point. And so at 6 o'clock, we open up the room for everybody to hear the panel discussion. You're able to ask the questions at the end of the panel discussion, but then at 7:30, you go offline when the certified group is going to have their break, and you do not have an exhibition and you do not pay it forward. You come and go as you please. Questions about how to participate? Leslie, Hitchhike On, anything you want to add on? I think the dog might have gotten her attention. Yeah, there you are.
I took a bite of food.
Uh-oh, sorry, caught you. But anything you want to add on, or Karen, you all want to add on there?
While Leslie's chewing, I'll go ahead and say, we do have a number of people who popped on just to get information. They did not make a commitment. They wanted to see what it was about. So if after this introduction, you have decided that this is for you, please make sure you go and fill out the actual enrollment form and pay the fee of the $50 so that you're all set for next Tuesday second Tuesday in April.
Yes, Christina.
Okay, so question, because when I did the initial sign up, I was waiting for the link to pay the $50 and do the pay it forward. Was I not filling out the right link, or is there a separate link that's going to be sent? I just want to make sure I understand.
I will check and see. I don't have an answer at the moment, but I'll check on it and I'll let you know. Was anyone able to pay the fee, or did everyone just do the form? And do we need to do a link for that?
I got you, Sebastian. That's what I just said.
I think we need a link for that because I don't see anywhere to pay.
Great. Well,
yeah, because it lets you fill out, but it never asks for any credit card information or anything.
Okay, I will.
Right, there wasn't one.
We will get that straight tomorrow.
And Karen, they're also asking, what is the deadline for sign up?
I guess, what do you think, Pam? The end of this month, so that we know how many people we have for sure?
Yeah, I think March 31 is a very good deadline, and then it also gives us a chance to send out some notification if Leslie wants a pre-assignment before the April 11th session.
Okay. Yes.
Any other questions about anything?
Will there be like a place where the meeting recordings will be located? Like if say I wanted to come back to it and just rewatch it again later or something.
Karen, you've got to answer that. That's technology.
Well, all of that is kind of a little new for me, but I'm sure it will be on the SHRAC site. I can find out exactly where the the videos will live, but it's going to be on Shreve.org, and it's probably a subcategory. So I will let you know, I can communicate that. I'll send an email to all of you as far as the paying the $50, how you can find the videos. I'll also include the link if you need to schedule assistance with me.
Our website is shrevearts.org, SHREVEARTS.org. And there are going to be two different videos, one just the edited panel discussion, and then one the entire program for those who are certified. So the one with the entire program for those who are going through the certification, we'll email you the link to that after each meeting with your homework assignment. But for those who are just interested in coming and going, you'll have a chance to go to the website to see the panel discussions. All right, well, if there, let me just have some show of, just so we can get a sense of how many of you are at this point planning on going through the certified process. Let us see if you're interested, where we are on that. 8 of you all, 9 maybe. Okay. We really do need to get to 10. So if you know of anybody who is interested, please point them, and didn't participate tonight, kindly point them to Karen and let her have a chance to talk to her. We do pay all of our guest speakers in the workshops, and it's a nice investment on our part, and it would be good to have at least 10 going through certification. Okay.
Someone did say, Sebastian did say he can commit, and 2 others did raise their hands. And we do need to get Ron to give his little, his talk. We didn't let Ron talk.
I'm hitting it right now. So if there aren't any more questions and you're good through April the 10th or signing up through March 31, Ron is another, he is a brilliant artist in our community, and he's had quite the interesting life of transition from being known as one of the foremost graphic designers in our community, but that just wasn't good enough for him. He has his own advertising agency and business. He has designed the Art Break logo for us, and even the Shreveport Regional Arts Council logo for us. And I can't think of all the other things that you've done with us directly, Ron, but he's going to share his story about the transition, again, not as a young teen, but pretty mature artist to be recognized, to work as an artist, and then how he has become recognized as one of Shreveport's premier artists, winning the Fellowship Award, which is the highest award that the Arts Council offers, and having many solo shows and always in demand. Take it away, Ron. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pam. I appreciate it. First and foremost, I want to give all of you a hand for just being in this space today, because I've been where you are, been nervous about things, still nervous about things, but on the other side of that is your purpose. And when you start to operate in your purpose and you work with your why, the rest of it won't matter. It won't matter. Organically, I built kind of a support group here, but all of this only happened because I took this class with Leslie 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. And this will be my second time speaking to the class, which is weird to me because I sat where you sat just a few years ago. And now with what I've done artistically, I see what Leslie was saying the whole time. And it's hard to see it. At first, trust me, it's hard to see it. I was texting my cousin, Christina, not officially my cousin blood, but texting her, said, you got this. At the end of the day, I want you all to know that you got this. And if you're not going to stay in this class the whole time, it would not work to your advantage. Be here when you can, learn what you can, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Leslie will let you know that she'll treat you individually like it's a class full of people, but everybody's still treated real respectfully, and also points to your discipline. She understands all of them. Not because she doesn't, but because she's been in the industry long enough to say, I figured that out. So she was talking earlier about story. My sister in this room right now, Karen LeBeau, is the first person to ever tell me. My first art exhibit was in Shreveport 7.5 years ago with my, at that time, 20-year-old son. We had a father-son exhibit. Karen saw my work and said, "Who are you?" I live here. And I said, well, she said, well, I'm Karen LeBeau. I used to, you know, I'm from New Orleans originally, Hurricane Katrina. She said, but you, that house, what is that house? I said, that's the house I grew up in. It was an old shotgun house. And she was like, oh my gosh, you got to tell the story of that shotgun house. And I'm like, nobody wants to know. Who wants to know about the story of the shotgun house? I didn't want to tell. So part of my branding of myself, and remember this, you are your brand. You are your brand. What you build around yourself becomes who people think that you are. You represent your art. And sometimes people don't want your art. They want a piece of you. And if they can take a piece of you home, that's a victory for them and for you. If you're here to sell, fine. If you're here just to operate in a space of creativity and just want to do stuff, this is a space for it. I didn't know it was a space for it until I did it. And once I did, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I did this. It changed my whole perspective on being a visual artist. Because as Pam said, most people knew me as a graphic designer. I still do graphic design during the day and I paint at night. I'm here in my studio now. But I come home, relax for an hour or so, then I come to the studio if I feel like it, remembering that it's a marathon, not a sprint. So some nights I may not feel like painting. Trust me, people, it's okay. It's okay, we've all been there. What I did learn, I want to share with y'all, is COVID changed everything for all of us. I had COVID November 2020. I still have breathing issues. So it changed my life physically, but more mentally. For us who are isolated anyway, and I tend to be more of an introvert anyway, you may not can tell by me talking tonight because Karen made me talk, is that I didn't want people to know how I thought what I thought. So it set me back during COVID that I isolated even more. This room gives you community. It gives you relationships. SHRAC has done that in a way that no other arts organization in North Louisiana can do, because they have people involved and working even behind the scenes that actually want you to excel. They want to develop artists. And I didn't realize that until now. People now see me as a visual artist who does graphic design. Graphic design used to be 80% of my business. Now, maybe 30 or 40. People now see me as a visual artist who's doing these things. And I'm like, how do I get to do these things? I showed up in these rooms. I showed up in these spaces. I showed up in some uncomfortable places. But I did learn this. It's in discomfort that we grow. Be a seed, plant a seed. It's ironically, Leslie said that, because I want to talk to you about a seed just briefly. I don't mean to take up all your time. I recognize that I am a seed and I want to be planted someplace where I can grow. SHRAC is that, Bossier Arts is that too. Different for me, I spend more time here. But even a seed in its early stages can only do what it's designed to do when the shell breaks, when it's uncomfortable. It can't be a tree without discomfort. It can't be a limb without discomfort. Then eventually, guess what happens? That tree has to break away some things that may kill it. There are going to be some artwork that you do that you're going to say, I don't like that. Prune it, cover it up. It's okay. I've covered up art that I thought was going to, I covered it up, start over. It's okay. I'm 62 years old and starting over. At 35, I broke both of my wrists on a motorcycle. No, I'm sorry, 34, was almost 35, was going to quit my job at the post office the next week And to me, this is what I learned. Tell God your plan. He'll laugh at you. I was planning to just walk in and say, I'm done with this post office. A week before I was going to quit, a week before my birthday.
Uh-oh, what happened, Ron? We've lost you.
Do write it down. I
Ron?
write mine down, or I put in an iPad, mostly with accountability, okay? Ways to make a sale. It's really, some of it's really to make an impression, to make a change, to change hearts and minds. Because when you see my rule artwork, it doesn't speak to, and you'll see behind me, that's rule. But this piece here, if you can see it, it has burlap on it. Leslie, when I told Leslie about the motorcycle wreck, and I didn't want to tell the story, she said, you gotta tell the story. So I want to tell it, you know. I look like a science project, you guys. I had metal sticking out of my hands, both of them. My mom didn't even want to see me. I couldn't go to the bathroom on my own. So guess what I needed? Community, family, relationships. That's what SHRAC is. That's what SHRAC can do, can be. That's what Leslie is going to tell you. That community works, community helps. But you've got to be in these spaces. You've got to put yourself in the rooms and say, I don't know, I want to learn. Just be submissive to say, I don't know. And with Pam, Leslie, Karen, who's going to be a great community liaison for us because she's an artist also. Karen is a fantastic artist. Had she not told me to tell my story, I would not be sitting here today. Story. So now I'm in Dallas 2 weeks ago, 7 pieces. Wichita, they're sending my work back. I was told yesterday, I sold a piece up in Wichita at a gallery. 5, 6 years ago? No, I didn't paint guys for 29 years. I just started back 7.5 years ago. The trip you plan is rarely the journey you take. Don't forget that. So with that, I just want to share that with you. Tell your story, find your place, but think about your why. Think about your why. Why? Why am I doing this? And it'll change your life. Thank you.
Ron, thank you so much. And one thing, I mean, I just love your story, and it's just incredible, you know, what you've endured and have overcome and everything that you're doing. But also, you know, there's so many artists I want y'all to see that are, you know, doing multiple things, right? You can be successful at multiple things. You know, Ron is doing his rural style and also his abstract style, and he's successful at both. And so that is also something that we will talk about. You know, people kind of, you know, I do different art stuff and I have different business avenues and different income streams. And that's something we'll talk about, you know, that if you're into a couple of different things, we can look at that and make it successful for you if you're into multiple things, multiple creative outlets. And so Ron has done that very successfully. He knows his different markets for each. And so it's something that he's able to do different things that he loves at the same time and be successful at that. So I love that.
Right quick. Even though this is what I'm working on right now, okay? That's an old car, okay? It's very small, but at the same time, I just finished 2 pieces for the Hilton Hotel that are each 3 feet by 6 feet. Abstract, totally different, but it spoke to that client, okay? So you'll find out in this class that you can do multiple things, because when I first told Leslie, I do all this stuff, I'm all over the place. She was like, doesn't matter, you can do it. I'm like, no, I can't, because in the art world, somebody will tell you in a minute, do this, do this, do this, and only do that. And I knew I wasn't going to be successful. Not only do I paint, guys, graphic designer, and I play drums. So my head is always all over the place. and it's okay. I'll be working on something abstract and realize I'm sick of it and I got to go to rule. So it's okay for you to switch styles. I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm just saying that you really can be successful at it. The piece at the Hilton, my biggest piece is 7 feet by 7 feet. It was commissioned by the Hilton because they saw my abstract work. Well, somebody else saw my rule work and wanted a commission piece with that. So they both sell, but like Leslie said, you have to know your market. You have to know your client. And the people I sell artwork to for rule purposes are not the same people I do my abstract. And I find out early on who that is. So don't push your art on people who may not be ready. Guess what? If I'm doing a style that somebody likes or somebody doesn't like, I know of an artist in this room that can do it. So with this said, make sure that you're not being selfish in your knowledge. If you know somebody that can do something that you can't, just tell them. I don't do murals. So a real good friend of mine, Cadavian, just worked with me on a mural. I handled the project. I did the 2 pieces, but I let him do the mural. So we did a collaboration for the Hilton because Hilton trusted me with the project. So I'm thankful for the opportunity to do different things, but I'm also working to, and Leslie will say this later, to try to get into the mailbox money market where the checks come to your mailbox. You don't know why, but they come. So I encourage y'all, I'm telling you, you got this.
Thank you, Ron. It's awesome. I love to hear it.
All right, well, we are very early. It's only 7 p.m. and I just want to remind you that if we were on the journey together for a regular class, you would still have 30 minutes of Q&A with your panelists and you'd go till 8:30. But I think since tonight we're trying to encourage you to participate rather than frighten you off, we'll ask, are there any questions? Karen, is there anything you want to add that we have not talked about yet?
No, I think we covered everything.
ML, and then Leslie, you'll take it away for us. ML?
I do have a question. You mentioned keeping a portfolio. Is that the culturalist, or are we keeping a separate portfolio of our work as we do the class?
Leslie, we'll let you answer.
Yeah,
that.
I can answer. So throughout the course, I'm going to help each person create a portfolio that is geared to what they're doing professionally, and however that can upload to the Culturalist. That's the newer system, right, Pam? I know that it's changed. So yes, this is going to be able to not only be something that you can utilize and upload to that, but this is also something that you'll be able to utilize to go direct to clients. So when it comes to literary, that is something where we could, approach different events or different avenues for what you're doing and have a professional portfolio that you've put together that's easy to then just pump out to the right clientele for you. So you'll be able to do that for y'all's own internal, for the Culturalist, but then also for your business.
And to piggyback off the Culturalist, I would like to just add as a reminder, if you are joining the class and you do not have a Culturalist profile, go ahead and try to get on that.
All right. This will be your first night or your only night to get out of here early. So are there any other questions or thoughts or concerns or ideas? Going once. Yes, ML.
I hate to be talking so much, but I'm just excited about being able to do the class again. I guess without being too personal, if we're currently involved in a project, should we be documenting that now in preparation for, if it's going to be ongoing during the class, should we go ahead and start documenting now for that? I guess I'm thinking in terms of if I'm in an exhibit currently and I'm just wondering if I should include that as part of this portfolio we're going to be working on. Should I know it's going to be going on for at least a month. So by the next class, it'll be over.
Mel, I would say for sure. I mean, your portfolio is gonna have your works included, and it can be past or current work. So yes,
Okay.
I would be documenting that to include that in the portfolio that we'll be working on throughout the course. You know, and something that the portfolio is gonna, you know, let me take, for example, Ron. So one thing that we would do is that I would talk with Ron and say, okay, so you have different avenues from original works, abstract, and the rural. And then also, could there be, you know, an opportunity for Ron to approach commercial licensing for his abstracts to the trade? And we'll go through all of this through the course, but talk about mailbox money. He can do licensing deals for a certain series of his abstract works that would then be prints sold to designers to the trade for reproductions. Okay. So we are going to approach a full portfolio. So Ron would have a full portfolio of his story, the works he's created. So we would do 2 sections of abstracts and the rural work. Then we would also show images of his works in commercial spaces as well as residential. Okay, so we are offering everything. So a client would be able to see everything that Ron can do. Right. But what he has from that full portfolio is he can break that down, say, into 3. Down into just an abstract portfolio, just a rural portfolio. Or he could show what prints would be available for a wholesale client or to the trade client. Or now that he has been collaborating with other artists with his abstract works and helping project manage on mural work, that could be an additional service of his. So we'll be able to really take everything that Ron does, and we're going to be able to pull together digital portfolios that are already set and ready to just pump out. Say he has another hospitality client, another hotel. He can send images of his works that were in the Hilton, his abstract works, and he can send that to every hotel in the United States. I mean, you know, we're going to be able to provide, you know, what he's done and show images of it in the hospitality space, as well as his works behind the scenes, the story behind his creations. So you're going to be able to really reach different avenues, you know, based on what you're doing. So yes, please take content, you know, your process, part of the project, you know, the story of what you're doing, because we'll be able to include that in your portfolio. Okay. If that was helpful, but also gives everyone else an idea of how we'll approach that for your different genres and industries. Are there any other questions? I know we kind of touched on a lot. Yes, Randy.
Yes. Okay. So I have been paying attention, but I too have a dog that's been nipping at my heels. So that's why I smile so big when you tell me about your dog. But my question is, did I miss the homework? Do we have a homework assignment right now, or is it all of the footwork that we have to do, like culturalists? I figured it was all that stuff, the culturalists, everything that we've been talking about doing. So that's
No,
the first
really
homework.
tonight it's to make sure that everyone signed up for the course. So
Okay. Okay.
tonight is a full overview of questions. We want to make sure we have enough people in the class that we're going to move forward. We really
Right.
need 10. So I hope we're reaching that amount to move forward. And our real first class that will then have homework will be April 11th.
Okay. I thought so, but
Yeah.
just making sure.
If you
Okay,
have
thank you.
a quota you need to make, go ahead and sign me up for it and I'll do it. I don't want to see the class not get done because they were one person shy, and I'll juggle schedules some way.
You're amazing. Love it.
Remarkable, Betsy. Thank you. And
Thank
I'm sure you're going to learn at least one new thing. Thank you.
You know, and a lot has evolved from the last course and the way to approach different clients now. I mean, through COVID, the way my business has, you know, branched out in different ways. You know, this course has evolved over the years, and, you know, more knowledge and more things that I'll share with the class, and bringing in other entrepreneurs and creative entrepreneurs through this course. The fact that we're going to have 10 months to spread this out, I work with so many different creatives in so many different realms. I mean, I work with people in the music industry. I work with people in video and drone footage and fashion and mixed media artists, glass, everything you can imagine. What I do commercially, I'm working with every type of creative and type of business. So we'll be able to bring in other creatives that are sharing their story, how they've built their business, and giving you that knowledge of how they've approached it, you know, because there's a different approach for everyone, you know, how this is going to work for you and what you want it to be for you, you know, and we're going to navigate that so it can be successful for you. So do y'all have any other questions? Anything for me? Y'all just need to sign up. I'm excited.
All right, well, we're gonna say good night. We'll see you in a month. And
Awesome.
should you have any questions between now and March 30th for the sign up, or you want to recommend it to anybody, we did record this session. So if you want anyone to get a chance to know about the project, we sure hope you'll let us know so we can maximize this opportunity. The one thing about doing it in 10-week increments is if you miss, we can start you over again after those 10 weeks. But this is a year, 10-month commitment through next November. Well, really, you need to consider it through next January, because you have an exhibition that opens in January of your Pay It Forward work. So if you decide you don't want to do it this time, it's not like, oh, well, it'll be right around the corner. It's going to take you all year. So without any other questions or comments, we'll say good night. Going once, going twice, going three. Is that a question, ML, or is that a goodbye? Going 3 times. See you all in a month. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.